yet another privilege and opportunity to gather in the house of prayer one more time. Thank you for all the angels that encamped around about us as we slumbered and slept. Early this morning you touched us with a finger of love and our eyes are open to witness a new day. And Lord, I just want to say thank you. And think at evening time you brought us back to the house of prayer. Where prayers could be heard and mercy could be found. And again, Lord, I want to say thank you. And thank you when I got here for those who are here who believe what I believe and love you the way I love you. And now, dear Lord, I pray that you would hide me behind the cross. Gather now my scattered thoughts and wandering mind. Give me words to say to your people. And we'll always be careful to give you the praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Bless him because he's worthy of all of our praise. I don't know about you, but I'm just glad to be in his house. One more time. The Lord has allowed us to gather. And I give praise and adoration unto him. This morning we talked from the subject, Canaan land is just in sight. I want to continue with that same subject tonight. We're going to be looking at verses 10 through 15 in that first chapter of Joshua. This morning we talked from verses 1 through 9 and we talked about God's command. Amen. Now, I want to read just verse 10 and 11. Then Joshua commanded the officers of the people, saying, pass through the host, and command the people, saying, prepare you victuals. For within 3 days ye shall pass over this Jordan, to go in to possess the land which the Lord your God giveth you to possess. Amen. On tonight, with the help of the Holy Spirit, I want to talk about Joshua's challenge. Joshua's challenge. The book of Joshua is a book about transitions. It is about battles. It's a book about victory. It's a book about people getting their hands on everything that the Lord has for them. You miss a good chance to shout right there. It's a book about people getting their hands on everything that God has for them. It speaks to us today because it is a book about moving today into the peace and blessings of today. You miss another good chance to shout. While you're worried about what happened yesterday, be thankful that God has brought you into a day of peace and blessing. Now the focus turns from Joshua to the nation as a whole. God is speaking to people who are ready to receive the land that God had promised them. And I need to tell you, my brothers and sisters, you got to understand that those people had only gone for 11 days. A journey that could have been made in 11 days, it had taken them a long time. It took them 2 years to take an 11-day journey. And the reason was because of their disobedience. Now, when God, check this out. There they were right on the brink of going into the promised land, going into the land of Canaan. And when they were commanded to enter the promised land, Ruthie, they begged God to allow them to send spies into Canaan to see what kind of land it was. God had already told them, it's yours. And we have to understand, wherever God leads us, God knows what is best for us. God granted their request. 12 spies went out. You know the story. 40 days they looked over the land, and 10 of them came back with a negative report. It's right there in Numbers chapter 13, verses 26. They said that, yes, it's a beautiful land, but their report was one of fear, not of faith, because they were afraid of the giants who inhibited the land. I want you to keep in the back of your mind that their report was one of what? Fear, and not of faith. Are you with me? Part of our problem is our reports are out of fear and not out of faith. You're going to read Joshua chapter 1, verses 10 through 15. You see, God knows what is best for us. But I look at this lesson here, and I see a lot of us in this lesson. They say, yes, it's a land flowing with milk and honey, but that's one issue. There are the giants out there. And we look like grasshoppers. Many of us still have a grasshopper complex. And you need to understand, if you are a grasshopper and God is on your side, you still have the victory. So they said, we can't do it, but thank God for Caleb and Joshua. Amen. The other 2 spies, they came back with their report was not based on fear, it was based on what? Faith. Are you with me? Your report ought to be based on faith and not on fear. Not what you think is going to happen, but based upon what you know God is able. You go back to this morning, God had made promises with them to what? Don't fear. Don't fear. Told them 3 times, don't be fearful, but be of great courage. Isn't that right? Now when God speaks, all you got to do is stand on the word of God. In chapter 14, a number of the people refused to go forward. They wanted to return to Egypt. They wanted to have somewhere to bury their dead. They must have been black. Because we care more about dead folk than we do living folk. We will buy flowers for you when you die, but we won't buy a bowl of soup for you when you're sick. We'll take our work to come to your funeral, but we won't take our work to come here and take you to the doctor. We'll travel all the way from California here for a funeral, but we won't come from Boulder City to see you in the hospital. I wish I had help for them. They wanted to go back into Egypt, and because of their refusal, God allowed them to wander in the wilderness for 38 more years. And he did that until the faithless generation had died off. You know, I was looking at this, I wonder, is that what God is doing to us right now? Oh my God. I wonder, is God allowing us to wander in the wilderness because of our unfaithfulness? And until this generation dies out, God is going to keep us doing what we're doing. The generation that came out of Egypt, watch, hold your hands now, was like many who were living in our day. They became sanctified obstructionists. Say that. Sanctified obstructionists who tried to stand in the way of everything God was doing. We got a whole lot of sanctified obstructionists in the church. I don't care what, if you want to paint the building white, they say it ought to be black. If you say we're going to sit on the left side, let's sit on the right side. Somebody said we all wear uniform. No, let's don't wear uniform. I don't care what come up. They always have something negative to say about it. But now listen, there's a story told about a deacon. They were getting ready, a certain church was getting ready to build a new education building. And in a fit of rage, he said, over my dead body. Now he stormed out, and later he died from a massive heart attack. And the church went on with the bill. So let me tell you something. Be careful about going around telling stuff happening over your dead body. Because they will roll you up in here for a few minutes, roll you right on back out there, hurt that you in for a few minutes, and the church don't roll on. You gonna have witness? Now that the old generation is dead, God is about to lead the new generation into the promised land. You old folk better listen to this. I said the old folk were dead. They died because of disobedience. But just because you didn't get that doesn't mean God won't allow somebody else to get that. They didn't want to get that because of their this, but God took this new generation and he began to lead them into the promised land. Oh, my brothers and sisters, you got to understand that Caleb and Joshua were ready to lead them into their inheritance. I need to tell somebody tonight, in 2020, God wants to lead you into your inheritance. You got to learn how to walk into your season. That's what that song is really talking about. When they talk about walk into your season. God has an inheritance. Why? Because I'm a child of God. And since my daddy owns something, I have an inheritance. And God just wants you to walk into your what? Now, what Joshua says to Israel and how they respond to his word have some truth that will help us today. God has promised us, according to Ephesians 1 and 3, victory and blessings. But get this, before we can get it, claim the victory, you got to be properly prepared. Say properly prepared. And that's all I want to talk about tonight. I'm going to get it out of here. Again, remember our thought is Canaan is just in sight. It's so close so you can see it. So close so you can taste it. Well, first of all, two things I want to look at tonight. After Joshua receives his challenge from the Lord without hesitation, he goes to the people and he tells them that the time has come to take their land. Without hesitation. Too much hesitating with us. When God says do something, you don't need to pray about it. When God says something, you don't need to pray about it. You need to just, like Nike say, what? Just do it. Okay? Two things before us tonight. First of all, in verses 10 and 11, there's a challenge to readiness. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. A challenge to readiness. Joshua tells the people to get ready to go into Canaan and to claim the land. These were the words that they've been living on for 40 years. But before they could go in, they had to get ready. God told them to prepare some food. That's strange. You Bible readers understand that. Those who ain't Bible, they don't understand that. God told them to prepare food. The manna is about to stop. God told them he would give them manna while they were in the desert. But it would cease when they entered the promised land. Check this out. Manna was desert food. But now they were about to move up to something a whole lot better. They were going to a land flowing with milk and honey. What had worked in the wilderness would not suffice in the land of blessing. I need to tell you sometimes God has to have you to unload some of that stuff that he had you with in the wilderness as you get ready to go into the promised land. See, that's why so many never enjoy the victorious Christian life. Brothers and sisters, before we can enter our kingdom, we have to make proper preparation. Before we can enter our land of blessing, our land of inheritance, there must be some preparation. See, that's what's wrong with us. We don't want to be prepared. That's why we have all these empty pews in here tonight. People want the blessing, but they don't want the preparation. We refuse to make the necessary changes to adjust to living in a spiritual victory life. Get this to me now. I'm going to be quick tonight, so say right there. The way we live must change.
That's right.
I didn't say it ought to change. It must change. It must. The thing we feed on must change. Brothers and sisters, the problem in the world today is that the world is sucking off the same nipple that the church is sucking off the same nipple that the world is. We're getting the same sweet tea. We're getting the same nourishment that the world is getting. So what do you think going to happen? That's all of the crazy is going on all in the churches everywhere else. We've got to change our diet in order to enter into that land that God. Let me tell you something, baby. You can sit up in here every Sunday, every time these doors open, until you change your diet. You ought not be desiring the things of the world the way you ought to. I was at a funeral yesterday. I get sick of all these out of shape women wearing these clothes showing their butts. They looked in the mirror before they left home. It's an abomination before God. They eat from the wrong diet. We're going to be like the world. Come on now. And we brought that mess into the church. Some churches don't even know hymns no more. They don't even open up with no prayer. They just open up with a little praise and worship and get on down the road, dim the lights and turn on the strobe lights and have a party. We've got to change our lifestyle. We've got to change our diet. The old folks say the things I used to say I don't do it no more. Why? I changed my way. I changed my diet. I used to be an alcoholic, but he took that taste from my lips. I used to be a drug addict, but I'm high now on the whole. I wish I had somebody up in here before you can get into your promised land. There has to be some changes in your ways. There has to be some changes in your diet. When I went to the doctor, and they told me that my A1C was 9.6. And I said to the doctor that I don't want to take no medication. Give it name and days. And I can handle this through my diet. But brother, that means I had to change my eating habits. Y'all ain't. Somebody know what I'm talking about. Oh, and I thank God I changed my weight, I changed my eating habits, and guess what? It's down. Simply because I changed my diet. I was eating stuff that was killing me. You desire the stuff that's killing you spiritually. And the devil sitting on the lap, piling it on a buffet. What worked for them in the desert, the Lord said, I'm going to give you a manna while you're in the desert, but I got a new thing that I'm doing when you get to the promise. See, you trying to eat desert stuff. Our priority and our passion will be brought in line with the will of God. My brothers and sisters, they were going to a land flowing with milk and honey. The entire scope of our lives must be altered to adjust to living differently than the world around us. Stuff that sets the world off doesn't do anything for me. The music that turns the world on doesn't do anything for me. It's because now I'm headed into my kingdom. I'm headed into my, in 2020, I'm headed into my land flowing with milk and honey. Let me tell you something, baby. You get this in the back of your head. God didn't have to create it. It was already there. God had already given it. The holdup was not God. The holdup was the people. And I need to tell somebody, you didn't get blessed in 2019. It wasn't necessarily because of God. It was maybe you just wasn't ready to enter into your kingdom. See, if you expect, get this and I'll move to the last point. If you expect to walk in victory, you have to learn to walk by an entirely new set of rules. An entirely new set of rules. Well, Romans 6 and 4 says, we were buried, therefore, with him by baptism into death. In order that just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glory of the Father, we too might walk in the newness of life. Say newness. That your walk ought to be new. Do I have a witness of that? You see, we prayed our whole, you know, my wife liked to play, what name again?
Phase 10.
Phase who?
10.
10, okay, phase 10. And she was playing with Janae, some of her girls down there. And Janae was changing the rules. And they're trying to run, and Janae gets somebody else who didn't know how to play, she changed the rules on them. But see, that's the way we are. We want to play by our own rules. But God is the one who determines what the rules are. And baby, he's not going to adjust the rule to you. You got to fall in line with the rules. Can I tell you something? What's wrong with our church is not that God has changed the rule, but we have refused to follow the new set of rules, the guidelines. See, God had one set of rules for the desert. But he had a new set of rules for the promise. See, Mama had one set of rules for you to run around outside the house. But she had a whole new set of rules when I came in the house. Y'all ain't feeling me. When I ran outside, I could run out barefoot in the dirty sand all day long. But when I come in that house, boy, you better clean your feet up. I didn't go jump on Mama's couch with dirt. I just come out the yard. She had a new set. I could sit in the dirt all day long. But when I come in the house, the rules changed. I wish I had somebody know what I'm talking about. So God has changed the rule. If you are going to get into your Canaan, you can see it, but you never get there until you walk in the newness of life. So not only was there a challenge to get ready, but then there was a challenge to responsibility. It's right there in verses 12 through 15. See, that's where a lot of us have a problem. We don't want to be responsible. We like to make excuses. We're accusers and excusers. But you ought to be a chooser. We make excuses. Those who with me at 11 o'clock, they got that little bit over at Evergreen this morning. But you see, we always want to blame somebody else. It's never our fault. It's always somebody else's fault. But Joshua, look what Joshua did here. Stay with me. He addresses the tribe of Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh. These tribes, if you remember, had sought and got permission from Moses to remain on the east of the Jordan, just outside of the promised land. There's the Reubenites, Gadites, and Manasseites up in here. God had moved you back to the promised land. You want to stop at something that looked good. And God had better in the promised land. Why do they want to stay there? Stay with me. The land east of Jordan was a land that was good for raising cattle. But this is what Joshua did. He warned them that they had promised to fight alongside their brethren until the land was conquered. And these people were challenged to remember their promise and to aid the nation until victory was secured. But check this out. They was in a land of prosperity. They was also in a land of danger. These tribes were the first one to go into captivity. When the Assyrian army attacked Israel, they came from the east, and they were the first ones swallowed up. There's a lesson. Get this lesson. I'm almost through. There's a lesson in this verse for us tonight. We have legions of Christians who are just like the 2.5 tribes. We are more concerned about making a living than we are about. That's my hoop. They were concerned because it was fertile land. The life was on the other side. But they wanted to make a living. And many of us are so caught up making a living, we're failing at making a life. Primary thing that motivated them was getting ahead in life. A lot of us listeners, I want you to have everything you want to have. But don't use all of your energy trying to get ahead in life and you're behind in living. What does it profit a man to gain the whole wide world and lose his soul? These 2.5 tribes were materially minded and not spiritual minded. These people represent those Christians that one word we call borderline Christians. He says, oh, there are those who would trust Christ for salvation, but that's where they want to go. Oh, I got a bunch of them up in there. They attend church when they want to. They attend church when it's convenient. They give and pay tithe when they feel like it. Or when they say they can afford it. But let me tell you, that's not how it works. When the enemies of Israel attacked from the eastern tribes who lived east of Jordan, were the first to follow. And that same true of those borderline Christians. When the enemy comes, you're going to be the first one to follow. People who live like this can say anything they want to, but it's an obvious truth. They have other gods in their lives to whom they bow. If you really love the Lord tonight, you need to make up your mind to cross over into the place of victory that the Lord has prepared for you. You need to make a decision today to leave behind anything that's holding you back from serving God like you should. Well, let me close with Matthew 16:24. Then Jesus said to the disciples, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. If any man will come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow. And then Luke 14:26-20. If any man come to me and hate not his father, his mother, his wife, his children, his brethren, and his sisters, you and his own life also, he cannot be my disciple. And whosoever does not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. Now, baby, you look at it any way you want to cut it, any kind of way you want to do, but many of us are choosing gold and other worldly things over God. If you fail to line up with the will of God for your life, then you can be assured of one thing. One day you're going to fall. One day you're going to fall. The challenge is, where do you stand? Who's on the Lord's side? Are you ready to accept this challenge? You know what? I was wrestling, and the Holy Spirit led me to the book of Joshua, because there are a whole lot of fake prophets on television with a lot of fake news who lead you to believe a whole lot of stuff. Some of you probably got one of them paracloths took off, some of them one of them best handkerchiefs, and some of the holy water they got out to hide and they started praying in Jerusalem. But let me tell you something, baby. God wants, it's right there. Have you ever been read to a place you could see it but you couldn't get to it? I mean, there have been times, I remember we took my sister Nettie to Bishop College. We got there over in the night. And I mean, we were driving by Bishop like going down Hollywood, and Bishop was over here. And we were asking people like nobody knew where it was. We drove around for 2 hours. Right back. It was right back. Well, that's what a lot of you, all of 2019, you've been driving right by Canaan. But the reason you haven't been able to go in, you're not ready. You're not ready. You still want God to rain down now. Come on. Yeah, that temporary stuff that God said you can't keep. Come on. Oh, Woo, thank you, Ruby. You helped me out with that, baby. I got another hit to get. See, manna was meant to be temporary. It was never meant to be permanent. Can I tell you something? This material stuff that you're striving for is meant to be temporary. In my lifetime in ministry, I've led many funeral processions. But I've never led one with a brick on the car followed behind the hearse. I've done many funerals. They even sell the casket with them little boxes in, but don't nobody put that in a box with it. And anything they put on that costume jewelry up in there, they keep that good stuff. All of this material stuff is meant to be temporary, and it has no value. Where you going? That's right. I want some currency that I can spend where I'm going. Joe and Janae got ready to go down to Australia a few months ago. They had to go through the exchange. Then they exchanged American money for what? Euro? For euro. Because American currency was not any good in Australia. I'm going somewhere with this. I need to tell you, you're holding on to a currency over here that has no value in Canaan. Yeah, that's, you know, at the plantation that I came from, the Hutchinsons were there, and they had a safe. And one day I heard my dad say, the lady who was there opened up the safe. And in that safe, she had a whole stack of Confederate money. But guess what? That money was no good. It had no value in the United States of America. I need to tell somebody tonight as I go to my seat, you want currency that can be used where you're headed. And you got to learn, he said unto them, I want you to trust me. Don't look at your enemy, look at me. I'm what I promised, I will perform. I need about 5 witnesses here tonight. Calvary, you're there and don't realize that you're there. The promised land, the Canaan, is waiting on you. But the question is, are you ready? Okay. 2020. God is getting ready to do something. God is ready to carry you out of the land of bondage. Don't look back. Don't cherish those temporary things. Set your affection on things that are good. Some folk would rather have houses and land. Some folk choose silver and gold. These things, they cherish and forget about their soul.
What have you decided?
To make Jesus my Lord. Anybody else out there? Anybody else out there yet? Some would rather have houses and land. Some folks choose silver and gold. guess what? The road is going, and the hill, they're hard to climb. Yeah, I started a long time ago, and there is no doubt in my mind. Everybody tomorrow, let me do it this way. I want to extend tribute to church membership. If you're here tonight and Spirit of the living God is moving upon you, we invite you to surrender your life to Him. We invite you to become a part of the Calvary family and the family of God. Perhaps you moved here from another city since relocating, you not found a church home. Your search can end tonight. You were in church and strayed away from the church. Tonight is a good time to come back. Is there one tonight? I decided to make Jesus my soul. Oh, don't you know that the going is and the hills they're hard. You know, I started, it was a long time ago, and there is no doubt in my mind. Challenge to be doers and not just hearers of the word only. And now that God has been prepared to bring a gift to you, pray that the gift we bring will be acceptable in your sight. That we don't do it out of strength, but we do it out of obedience and out of love. And pray that I will bless these gifts, some 30, some 60, some even 100-fold in Jesus' name. Amen. Let's thank God for the word. Let's celebrate the word. If there are those who need envelope, if you raise your hand, first you will see you're getting an envelope. Amen, amen, amen. Listen, we will not have any activities here this week. Brothers, Joey, have you kind of talk to the brothers about what we're trying to do here this week?